If someone were to stop you in the street and ask, "How old are you?" or "Are you in a relationship?" would you answer? Even if you wouldn't mind answering these questions, do you feel comfortable doing so? Hello, my name is Sarah and I'm with talktoCanada.com. Today we'll be talking about the things that you should or shouldn't talk about when meeting someone for the first time in North America. So first we'll take a quick look at the things that you can ask about, no problem. You can ask about the person's day, something like, "How was your day?" That's fine. That's very, friendly and normal. You can also ask about vacations. What countries have you visited, or where would you like to go for your next vacation? That's usually okay as well. You can also talk about work, You can say something like, "Where do you work?" or "What are your responsibilities at work?" That's usually not an issue. Most people are very receptive to questions like these. You can also talk about hobbies. What do you like to do in your spare time? Are you interested in anything in particular at this time? That's usually okay as well. You can also talk about goals, something like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? What about in 5 years? What about in 20 years? Usually people don't mind answering questions like these. You can also talk about, and this is my favorite one because I love to eat, and everybody knows that I love to eat. What's your favorite food? Or have you tried Japanese, Italian, Arabic food? Usually when someone asks me that, or if I'm meeting someone for the first time, we will always talk about food because I love hearing things about food and talking about the different types, and it's usually really fun, and I love trying new things, so it works out great for me. Now, what not to talk about or what not to ask about when you're meeting someone for the first time. You should never, ever, 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 ever talk about age. You should never ask, "How old are you?" or "When were you born?" Most people will not answer that question. They'll say, "None of your business." You may have to run after asking that question. Usually if I'm asked that question, I don't care. I just say, "I'm 20. Huh. Just 20, very young," which I'm not, by the way. I think I've been 20 for the past 5 years, but all right. So age, don't ask about. Person's residence. Where do you live? What's your address? Don't ask someone that. That's scary. If somebody asks me that, I would say, maybe I should call 911. Okay, that's a very scary question. Most people don't want to answer that, especially not the first meeting. All right, next one, relationship status. Are you married? Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? Have you had boyfriends or girlfriends in the past? That's not very appropriate to ask someone the first day that you meet them. Maybe later on if you know them a bit better, but the first time you meet someone, you should really not ask questions about relationships because it just makes the person feel awkward and uncomfortable. You should never ask about salary. How much do you make? How much do your parents make? What's your salary? That's usually none of anybody's business except for the person who's getting the salary. So don't ask someone how much they make. Most people will not answer that question. I know a lot of my friends, I've known my friends for years, some of them, and we still don't talk about salary. It's something that's very personal and it's none of anyone else's business. Okay? The next one, family. So usually, it's okay to ask someone, how many siblings do you have? That's an okay question. It's very friendly. Or do you come from a big family? Or do you come from a small family? Those questions are usually fine. But asking someone something like, "Are there problems in your family? What kind of issues have you faced with your family?" See, no. Those questions you shouldn't ask, okay? You're not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. If you're meeting someone for the first time, don't ask them this question. They may run away. And this one is very personal and most people will not answer. How much do you weigh? This question is extremely personal. Most people will not tell you, or they may ignore you, or you may have to run away because they may say, "Excuse me, what did you just ask me? Is that any of your business? Why do you want to know how much I weigh?" Like, ugh, jeez. Anyway, I'm just joking, but it's a question that you shouldn't ask. So, good questions to ask, not so good questions to ask. These rules, or they're not really rules, but what I just talked about in this video applies mostly in North America. In some other countries, you may be able to ask questions like these, no problem. But in North America, it's not a good idea to ask these questions the first time you meet someone. I hope this video helped you. So again, it's Sarah with talktoCanada.com, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.